Okay, check this out. In a recent interview with This Morning, Delimar Vera opened up about her incredible story. Here's everything you need to know. And by the way, if you're not familiar with Delimar Vera's wild and unbelievable journey, go check out my video summarizing it, then come back here. Okay, so in the interview, Delimar recounts what it was like living with Carolyn Correa.
So living with Carolyn, wasn't a walk in the park. I always felt kind of odd, almost like I didn't belong, Carolyn didn't look like me. I had one sibling that kind of looked like me a little bit, so I didn't think, oh, I'm kidnapped, but I didn't feel a sense of belonging there. The biggest question of all is, why kidnap a child if they're not gonna be your pride and joy and, you're not gonna treat them the best way that you can. And it's funny because I remember her the least out of all of my upbringing and everybody that I was around. And I don't know if maybe trauma has a funny way of blocking things out and maybe she was more involved, but as I spoke to other people, they told me, yeah, she wasn't really around that often.
Delimar also discusses Carolyn's claim that her own father was involved in the kidnapping.
There's questions about how Carolyn was able to kidnap you and somebody else being involved in the kidnapping. And she maintained that it was your birth father that had actually helped. You are close with him still, aren't you?
Yes, I am, yeah.
I mean, that must be another twist to this tale that would have been very difficult for you to have to deal with.
Oh, absolutely. It was very hard to sit down and have that conversation with my father and confront him.
Yes.
I mean, I felt for him and I didn't know how it would turn out.
And do you still think that Carolyn had an accomplice? Because nobody's ever been brought to justice for that.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way that she took me out of a two-story home by herself. Yeah.
She then describes the moment her real mother discovered her.
It's heroic is what it is. And I mean, my mother, I have dimples and all of my siblings have dimples. So when that was the first giveaway from her, and she always says, La sangre llama, which means blood calls. So she could sense that, I was hers and I gravitated towards her too. I'm like, look at this beautiful woman. And I was so intrigued by her.
Really? Suddenly, Carolyn is being faced with the idea that they're going to check a DNA test. And how did she present that to you?
So she had told me shortly after the party, she said, there's this bad lady that wants to take you away from me. And I was a sassy kid. I'm like, I'm not gonna let her take me away from you. But I didn't really think anything of it until we got to the location where we did the DNA test, and she kept spraying some kind of substance in my mouth. And later on, I found out that it was actually her saliva.
So she's thinking if they do a mouth swab, it might pick up her saliva, and then they'll think naively, oh, she's my daughter.
Today, Delimar Vera lives in Philadelphia with her husband Isaiah and her 11-year-old stepson. She stays close with both her biological parents, Luz Cuevas and